It was Oldsmobile's muscle car response to Pontiac's GTO, the 442. It arrived in 1964 and lasted for 10 years. Ken Ackley of Harwinton, Connecticut owns the 1971 442, which also competed against the likes of Chevrolet's Chevelle SS.
The way I see it, I think they're a little classier than a Chevy. You know, about in the same line, maybe as a GTO. I always like GTOs too.
Ackley has owned the 442 for 45 years.
Bought this car in 1976. I worked at Maxwell Drug Store, downtown Torrington, and the girl that worked there had it. I was still in high school, working part-time. Told her I wanted a car, gave her a deposit.
He bought the 442 against his parents' wishes and unbeknownst to them.
I was looking at cars and they didn't really want me to have a high-performance car, and I already had it pretty much paid for, seeing I was working.
But they didn't object when he brought it home.
Everybody loved it, actually, because it was a pretty-looking car.
There's a meaning behind the 442 name.
442 is 4-barrel, 4-speed dual exhaust.
Under the hood is a 455 cubic inch V8. It's got bucket seats and, of course, that 4-speed shifter. It got parked for about 10 years and has since been restored.
Totally restored it. Nut and bolt, frame off, new glass, new paint, another motor, but pretty much stock. So it still has a stock body with a couple little mods like headers and exhaust, and it's a driver.
The 442 bonded Ackley with the now defunct Oldsmobile brand.
Pretty much I'm an Oldsmobile guy because of that car, and it's the first car I ever owned. So through the years I was into cars and always ended up going to swap meet, buying Oldsmobile parts, and being a hoarder. So I have a lot of Oldsmobile parts, and I always seem to pick up another car on and off, part it out, or just flip it.
What's that behind him?
This is a 1970 Olds 442 convertible with an 871 blown 455, which is punched out to like a 468. Has 732 horse. Currently doing a 10.14 in a quarter mile. It's a race car. It's a track car. It can't be driven on the street. The tires are way too big. It has way too much power, and it is very loud.
His blue 442 has never been crashed and hasn't been contaminated by rust.
I'm not afraid to drive it. That's what it's built to drive. It has no power steering, which is no big deal because it steers pretty good anyway. But the only power option it has is power brakes. It is a pretty car, and I try to take care of it. So.
That's my ride. For the Republican American, I'm Bud Wilkinson.